right, I, Chair Thomas Kyle, call a hybrid elevator and electrical and an elevator board meeting of November 17th, 2022 to order at 9:30 a.m. Debbie, would you please give the roll call? Oh, before we do that, the microphone's in front of you. Make sure that when you want to speak that you've got it turned on. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I apologize in advance if I mess anybody's name up. Chair Thomas Kyle.
Here.
He's present in the room, along with the Vice Chair, John Flagel.
Here.
William Barlow.
Here.
He's connected virtually. Amy Beyer is excused. The next three are connected virtually. Elizabeth Bunga. We'll skip Elizabeth. Sarah Curry.
Here.
Thank you, Sarah. And new board member, Brian LaDieu.
Brian LaDieu, here.
Thank you. In the room, we have another new board member, Robert Lazarlier.
Here.
Thank you. Connected virtually is Rob McNeill.
Here.
In the room, Ryan Richards.
Here.
Richard Rudder. Al Shecker. Randy Smith.
Here.
And another new board member in the room, Ken Spencer.
Here.
We will go back to Elizabeth Bunga. Well, she did say she was coming, so she may enter later on. Richard Rudder. Al Shecker. Mr. Chair, if you want to continue on with your meeting, we do have a quorum.
All right, thank you, Debbie. This is item 1C. Any members have any changes to the agenda? I, Chair Kyle, rule the agenda and order of business approved. Item 1D, approval of draft board members. I, Chair Kyle, rule the draft meeting minutes of September 22nd, 2022 is final. Item 1E, date of the next meeting. The date of the next meeting is January 26, 2023.
Comment?
Yes.
Elizabeth Bunga joined the meeting.
Right, thank you. Okay, I think the meeting dates have been published for 2023. If you'd like to review those to make sure we all have those. We have 3 new board members I'd like to welcome to the board. First one is Brian LaDieu. Brian's accomplished maintenance and operation manager with 30 years of progressive work experience, as well as excellent communication and presentation skills. He has directed over 1 million hours of high-quality, cost-effective maintenance and engineering services across multiple technical disciplines to include electronic, mechanical, and electrical systems. His career is supported by a Bachelor of Science in Technical Management, as well as being a certified maintenance and reliability professional. Brian currently resides in Philomath, Oregon, and serves as a facilities manager at Georgia Pacific Pulp and Paper Mill in Toledo, Oregon. Brian represents the vacant position of industrial plants regularly employing licensed electrician. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
And is Robert Lazari. Robert is the business manager of the local International Union of Elevator Constructors, Local 23 in Portland, Oregon. Been in the elevator industry for 25 years, working in all areas of the trade. As a second-generation elevator constructor, he spent his entire life around elevators and elevator constructors. Robert has a great appreciation for the industry, as well as a need to focus on safety for those who work on elevators and the riding public. This appreciation led him to obtain a degree in occupational safety and health, as well as became an A qualified elevator inspector, QEI. His goal is each and every day is to ensure that elevator constructors and the riding public make it home safe to their families. Robert resents the vacant position of journeyman and elevator installer. Welcome, Robert. I guess I didn't realize I was a riding public, but it's a new phrase.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Ken Spencer. Ken Spencer is a registered professional electrical engineer. He has been practicing for 30-plus years. He worked as customer operations engineer for Portland General Electric, working with the cities of Salem, Woodburn, Newburgh, and Hillsborough, focusing on operational and planning issues. He has a BSEE from Portland State University, 1991, and a MBA from George Fox University, 1997. Spent the first 20 years of his career designing electrical systems for buildings, including multi-story hospital patient care structures down to small community-based fire stations, and was up to the vacant position of the power and light industry. Welcome, Ken.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Would any of you like to say anything else to the board as you're joining it?
Just glad to be here and be of service.
All right, so welcome all of you. Item 2. This is public testimony. Andy, is there any public testimony at this time?
Thank you, Chair Kyle. Andy Bolton, Senior Policy Advisor with the division. We have received one request for public comment. I believe that Mr. Heltemes may be here either in the room or connected via Zoom. I'm not sure. And he also has submitted written comment as well that is available to the board members in your board packet. After Mr. Heltemes, we would like to hold the line open for just a moment in case there's anyone else connected that did not sign up that would like to provide public comment to the board. Mr. Heltemes, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Chair, members of the board, for the record, my name is Ryan Heltemes. I'm here before you to discuss the status of my general journeyman electrical license. I've made a big mistake by letting my electrical license lapse before completing my continuing education. I think a little backstory is in order to explain my situation. I topped out as an electrician in 2012. I received one paycheck before getting a layoff and starting my college career. I enrolled in OSU as an energy systems engineer. Took more than normal load of classes and went through the summers to complete my bachelor's degree in about 3.5 years. After graduating college, I took a job as a field service engineer for Eaton Corporation. I did commissioning of equipment for Eaton across the states for many big companies like Intel, Google, and Amazon. Then I decided to move into power systems engineering position for Eaton, doing electrical short circuit and arc flash studies. While working for Eaton, I started listening to real estate books while driving all over the state for work. This prompted me to start buying rental properties in 2016 while working full-time as an engineer. I started 3 different LLCs purchasing properties and have amassed a total of 35 units. I share this background to hopefully paint a picture that I'm not a lazy person, that this is an important, and that this is important continuing education slipped my mind as I focus on building my business while raising my family and 2 small children. While in college, I worked for Eaton and completed 2 rounds of continuing education license renewal to keep my license current. I always wanted to keep my license current with the possibility of starting my own business or going back to work as an electrician. Sorry guys, dog's barking there. I pride myself on the amount of work I put into getting that license and never wanted to let it go. That being said, I messed up in completing my continuing education 5 days later than the cutoff. In reality, it was 5 days after the 1-year grace period that I completed them. I am just asking for a bit of grace on this matter, with the last 2 years being pretty crazy with COVID. I'm not using that as an excuse, but asking for your consideration on the matter with everything that we just went through. I respect your decision either way on this, as this was my mess up. Thanks for the opportunity to testify before you today, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for the testimony. I think that it's probably been explained to you that we've been pretty firm on not granting these, just we didn't want to start a sequence of having to go through this every time. So I appreciate your testimony, but I think all of our past decisions have been not to grant any exceptions after a year. We're sorry, but it sounds like you should be well qualified to be able to take the test fairly quickly.
Awesome. I appreciate it, guys.
Is there any other comments from the board? All right, item 3A, contested.
Sorry, just for a second, I want to hold the line open, just in case there is anybody else that jumped on that wants to testify. We didn't have anyone else signed up, but I want to give the opportunity. All right, hearing none, go ahead.
All right. Agenda item 3A, consent orders. This is Michael.
Good morning, Chair and members of the board. For the record, my name is Michael Mayorga Hamilton, contested case representative for the division. Before the board is a summary of consent orders recently negotiated by the division on the behalf of the board. We have entered into 5 consent agreements since our last board meeting. All settlements, including the amount owed and suspended civil penalties, fall within the guidelines on the matrix, and they contain the standard conditions. The first case on the agenda is C-2021-100 in the matter of Ion Developer LLC. The respondent in this case was assessed a penalty of $4,000 because the respondent allowed unlicensed individuals to install conductors and an electrical panel. Respondent has agreed to pay $2,000 with the remaining $2,000 suspended. The second case on the agenda is C-2021-143 in the matter of David Conrad, which is related to the first case. The respondent in this case was assessed a penalty of $6,000 for assenting or failing to prevent individuals from installing conductors and an electrical panel without the proper licensing. The respondent has agreed to pay $2,000 with the remaining $4,000 suspended. The third case on the agenda is C-2021-154 in the matter of Eugene Piasecki. The respondent in this case was assessed a penalty of $2,000 for installing wire relating to electrical distribution panels without a supervising or journeyman electrician license. Respondent has agreed to pay $250 with the remaining $1,750 suspended. The fourth case on the agenda is in the matter of JFP Construction LLC. The respondent in this case was assessed a penalty of $12,000 for installing conductors, can lights, and new lighting receptacles without an electrical contractor's license and a permit. Respondent also allowed an unlicensed person to perform electrical work. Also of note, respondent has a related plumbing case with violations. Respondent has agreed to pay $2,750 with the remaining $9,250 suspended. The fifth case on the agenda is C-2022-99 in the matter of John Pastori Jr., which is related to the JFP construction case. The respondent in this case was assessed a penalty of $2,000 for installing electrical panels, conduit, and outlets in a pole barn without a supervising or journeyman electrician license. Respondent has agreed to pay $500 with the remaining $1,500 suspended. And a vote is required on this matter.
Okay, thank you, Michael.
I would like to make a motion to approve the 5 cases proposed for resolution as outlined in the enforcement board report and issue final orders.
Good, thank you. Is there any discussion? Okay, a motion is on the table to approve the 5 cases as presented. Debbie, would you call the roll?
Yes, sir. William Barlow,
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga,
Aye.
Sarah Curry,
Aye.
Brian LaDieu,
Aye.
Robert Lazarlian.
Aye.
I'll practice on that. Robert McNeill,
Aye.
Ryan Richards.
Aye.
We'll see if Richard Rudder has connected. Richard? Al Shecker?
Aye.
Thank you, Al. Tim Spencer?
Aye.
Randy Smith?
Aye.
Vice Chair John Flagel?
Aye.
Chair Thomas Kyle?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Debbie. Agenda item 3B, enforcement cases. Michael?
So before you, we have 3 default orders. No action is required on these. The first default on the agenda is C 2021-70 in the matter of rustic cowboy construction. Respondent was assessed a penalty of $6,000 for performing electrical installations without an electrical contractor's license, allowing an unlicensed person to perform electrical installations, and for failing to obtain a permit. The second default on the agenda is C 2021-71 in the matter of Daniel Schmidt. Respondent was assessed a penalty of $2,000 for installing an electrical panel, wiring, receptacles, and can lights without a supervising or journeyman electrician license. And the third and final case default on the agenda is C 2021-134 in the matter of Charles Smith. Respondent installed conductors into conduit that connected the property's electrical panel with the solar panels on the barn. He told his employer he held a valid Oregon journeyman plumber's license when he did not actually hold the license. We assessed a penalty of $2,000 for performing electrical installations without a supervising or journeyman electrician license. We denied his application for a journeyman electrician license and disqualified him for a year from obtaining his journeyman electrician license.
Okay, does the board have any questions?
Mr. Chair, this is Brian LaDieu.
Yes.
What's the difference between this list and the last one regarding the default order? Who determines the default order?
Default order happens, we send out a notice and we assess a penalty for violations that have been committed, and they have 20 days to respond and request a hearing. And if they respond and request a hearing, that allows us to enter into a consent order, which is for the first. These are people who have not responded, so their 20 days has passed. In cases of license and application denials, it's 60 days. So they've either had that 20-day or 60-day period to respond and have not done so.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it.
No problem.
I might ask this, when they're requesting a hearing, is this just a informal interview with the staff, or is this the actual when we go to a judge? And
Yeah, so when they request a hearing, it's to sit before an administrative law judge, but they have the opportunity prior to that to settle the case through a consent order.
so the consent order is negotiated with the staff then?
That's correct.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, item III.C, electrical program update. Keith Anderson.
Keith Anderson, Electrical Program Chief. Welcome to the 3 new members of the board. That's great to have you as part of the board. And let's see, I had a couple things today. The code committee, we have yet to meet or schedule anything. We expect to get something scheduled for December. The code books were a little late to get a hold of them this time around. We had a couple of meetings by now. They were probably out in September. Things are a little slow right now because of the COVID and different things that have happened.
Your microphone's off.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. There we go. Sorry, I had the mic off. I just said the code books have just become available to the committee members, and we received the information we needed from NFPA to do the research on different items that we were going to look at during the update. So we're looking at mid-December probably to have our first meeting. We'll try to get information out as quickly as we can for that. So I've been here in this position as the chief now for just about 8 years to the day, and I'm announcing my retirement I'm planning on retiring the 1st of March 2023, and just wanted to thank everyone for the opportunity to be part of building codes, part of the industry, to be able to share my 28 plus years as an inspector in the field, and to come over here and and work with the codes and the rules and the laws. I've learned, you think after that many years being an inspector, you pretty much had it down, but there's a lot more to learn than just the inspection portion of it. So it's been a great experience. There's going to be an opportunity for someone to step into this position. And again, it's been the best group of people I think I've ever worked with in my 45 years, in the electrical industry. So very supportive. I think we've been able to get a lot of things done, and I'm looking forward to moving on to the next step, which is retirement. So sorry about that. I hear a phone, so it might be in my ears, but anyway, if you had any questions for me, I'm going to continue to help in that process. With the code adoption, as much as I can be available to do that. And I understand they're going to advertise for the position while I'm still here and available to be part of that process. So, whatever I can do to help, transfer over to the new chief, I'll be available for that. So anyway, thank you for letting me be part of the program.
Well, sorry to see you go. Any other comments from the board? I guess we can't make a vote on this, so.
All right. All right. Well, thanks.
Okay. Agenda item D, elevator program update. Be careful now, because we have somebody that really knows what you're talking about.
Good morning, Chairman Kyle, members of the board. Good morning, Chairman Kyle and members of the board. For the record, I'm Warren Hartung. I'm the Elevator Program Chief, Statewide Services. In your packet this morning, you have our elevator inspection charts for September and October, along with our accident summary reports for the same months. They're pretty self-evident, as always, but I'm here if you have any questions. Happy to answer them. It's good to be here in person, too, by the way.
Yes, it is. Nice to see you. So, are there any questions from the board? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Item 4, communications. Yes, there's something coming up later that addresses that from later in the agenda, unless there's something else.
We have are you talking about the supervisor?
Yes.
That's at the end. That'll be after continuing.
Okay, item 5, there's no appeals, correct? Item 6, no unfinished business. Item 7 is recommendations for new continuing ed and instructor applications. Andy?
Thank you, Chair Kyle. Andy Bolton, Senior Policy Advisor with the division. In October, the CE Committee received 34 applications from 7 organizations. 21 courses were recommended for approval, and 1 course was not recommended for approval. 12 instructors were recommended for approval. The applications are detailed in the matrix included in your board packet, and this item will require a motion.
I move to approve as noted.
Okay, thank you. Is there any discussion? The motion's been made to approve the applications as presented. Debbie, would you call the roll?
Yes, sir. William Barlow,
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga,
I.
Sarah Curry,
I.
Brian LaDieu,
Aye.
Robert Lazarlier,
Aye.
Robert McNeill,
Aye.
Ryan Richards,
Aye.
Al Shecker,
Aye.
Ken Spencer,
Aye.
Randy Smith,
Aye.
Vice Chair John Flagel,
Aye.
Chair Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, the motion passes unanimously.
Anything else, Andy?
Not on CE, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Not under B.
Thank you, Chair Kyle. Again, Andy Bolton, Senior Policy Advisor with the division. Nathan Phillips, the Chair of the Committee to Review the Content in the Supervising Electricians exam, submitted a letter to the board requesting that members of the committee be granted 12 hours of code-related credit for the 2023 OESC cycle. Mr. Phillips' letter is in your board packet for review, and he is in the room and here as well if the board has any questions for him or if he would like to speak to the item. And of course, Keith Anderson is here and available to answer questions as well. This item will require a motion.
I'd like to, through the chair, Keith Anderson, Electrical Program Chief. I just want to thank these people for all the effort. It started out, I think that they thought it would take a couple meetings to get this done, and I think 9 months later, and I don't know, 5 or 6 or 8 meetings, whatever it was, to get through all of these tests and to get them lined up with the code. Anyway, it was a lot of work, and I appreciate their efforts in getting this done. So thank you.
Yes, Nathan?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Nathan Phillips, representing NECCA today. I would echo Keith in thanking the members of the committee for their help in getting this work done. It was quite a project that took much more time than we thought it would, and we all learned a lot. And just particularly like to call attention to Laura Benedict, who was one of the committee members who did a lot of the preparation of the spreadsheets that we use to do the calculations. She did a lot of the work and really appreciated her contributions, as well as everyone else, including Ryan. Thank you.
Through the chair, I'd just like to echo it. We did a lot of work on that, and I think we ended up with a great product. Supervisors can take the test, or potential supervisors can take the test and know that they stand a good chance of getting the right answers. So.
Mr. Chair, Brian LaDieu, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Are any of the individuals listed in this letter expected to sit for the supervisory exam?
You can't see it, but I've got a bunch of head shaking going on here that says no, so.
Okay, thank you. I motion to approve.
Okay, a motion's been made to approve. I'm going to read the names just so we have it clear. Chad Przinski, John McIntosh, Laura Benedict, Mike Weaver, Nick Urban, Ryan Richards, Sean Cole, and Nathan Phillips to have 12 hours of credit for code related. Any discussion? Okay. Debbie, would you call the roll?
Yes, sir. William Barlow,
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga,
I.
Sarah Curry,
I.
Brian LaDieu,
Aye.
Robert Lazarlier.
Aye.
Was I closer? Rob McNeill. Robert McNeill.
Aye.
Thank you. Ryan Richards,
Aye.
Al Shucker,
Aye.
Ken Spencer,
Aye.
Randy Smith,
Aye.
Vice Chair John Flagel,
Aye.
Chair Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, the motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you all. Item 8, board chair or board members make any announcements at this time? Is there any announcements from the boards? Okay, hearing none. Item 9 is adjournment. There being no further business, the November 17th, 2022 Electrical Elevator Board meeting is adjourned at 10:01. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.